God that we're blessed to see, we welcome you to www.powerandpraiseradio.com. Go ahead and call your neighbors, call your friends, call everybody that you know, and tell them to tune in now to the #1 radio station in all the land for more Dream Deferred No More. We are in the house, and we are happy to be before you on today. And we want to remind you, it's not enough just to critique your status quo. It's time to change it. So we say to you again, good morning and welcome to Dream Deferred No More, where our special guest today is the one and only, one of the #1 rising, has risen, however you want to call it, stars in America, SueHam. How are you on this morning, my sister?
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Yes, she's a playwright, she's an actress, she's a speaker, among other things. What is that hip hop? What?
The hip hop what now?
The hip hop. What else did you do?
Oh, the beatboxing.
The beatboxing. I don't know what that is, but that's what she was and still is probably. But that was a passion.
Oh gosh.
We had a conversation before the show. That's how I knew to ask her that. So that was one of her passions. So don't sleep on her. We've got a bad sister sitting next to us, and we're going to hear from her on this morning. Thank you once again for being here, but I want you to tell everybody. See, here on Dream Deferred No More, we like to encourage and motivate, inspire, and even empower others to do the work, to step past fear and obstacles, and make their dreams their reality. Mm-hmm. So when I find people, or I'm referred to people, or I'm introduced to people, or somehow connected to people who are living that, I like to give them an extended invitation and have them come on the show and share their stories with the world, all over the world.
Yes, and I count it a blessing.
Who is SueHam?
Oh my goodness, the multi-million-dollar question, who is SueHam?
Yes.
Well, first and foremost, I am created in the image of God.
Yes.
So I'm an extension of God. I am a mother of 3 beautiful children, a former Marine, a writer, speaker, TV host, radio host. I'm just somebody who loves life, who just goes around the world inspiring people to live, love, learn, and laugh, to not quit, to follow their dreams to success.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. So tell us this, Sue. How did you come to be the playwright, the actress, the speaker, the one who encourages others to live, love, laugh, and learn? Well, tell us about your story. What is your journey?
Well, first of all, I always say I'm from King Street, South Carolina, but I'm not really from King Street. I'm from the backwoods, where it's nothing but trees, and more trees. So I like to encompass my entire county, Williamsburg County.
Okay.
As a little girl, I always wanted to be in entertainment by way of being in movies, acting, and whatnot. And I found myself liking to write, but I would write little short love stories and whatnot. I never really thought my writing was any good. I always journaled, but my fantasy was with acting, being on stage.
Okay.
I didn't really actually get a start in that because, again, I'm from Williamsburg County. A start in that until I actually started creating my own shows. Now, I was actually in a stage play when I was in I think it was 12th grade or 11th grade in high school, and that ignited the fire. And from that...
So the stage play you were in high school, was it a high school play?
It was a high school play. Well, it was actually at our auditorium in King Street.
Okay.
So we had 400 people there. I'm on a real stage. And I get to hear... Okay?
That's big, yes.
And I get to hear, the audience, their reaction. And it's just amazing to me. So instead of pursuing that, I went to the Marine Corps. Because of fear and doubt. And also because fear and doubt. So I went to the Marine Corps, spent about 9 years there. But the thing about it is when you have purpose and dream, no matter how much you try to run from it, that thing will keep kicking up in your belly until you do something with it. So I got out of the Marine Corps and I was going through a tumultuous time in my marriage. And in order for me to get through that, I started writing again.
Okay.
And I realized that if I really wanted to be on stage and be in stage plays, I had to create my own opportunity. And so in doing that, I didn't realize that what I was doing was opening up a platform for others just like me.
Wow.
And so for those of you that are listening out there, you're sitting back and you're waiting on someone else to open the door. But like James Brown said, well, he said, open up the door, I'll get in there and get it myself. But I'm telling you to kick the door open yourself and go in there and create it, because somebody's waiting on you to do what you need to do. So I started writing my plays and started producing and directing them and casting local talent. And because of consistency and prayer and investing in myself, God has got us to where we are right now.
So it sounds like you took a passion that you have, and you're living out that passion. But you said something that's key. It took persistence.
Oh, yeah.
And prayer. At some point, you first had to step past the fear and doubt that you allowed to set in and cause you to go in a different direction. But when you came back, you had to step past the fear and doubt, and you kicked down doors of opportunity.
Yeah. Had to.
I like that.
Here's the thing. A lot of people sit back on the couch and think that manna is just going to fall from the heavens.
Yeah.
And I tend to think that if you get up and you meet God halfway, it's like that's when the miracles start. Right. Modern day miracles still exist. But I believe that you have to marry faith and work. You can't have one without the other.
Thank you. Faith without works is
dead.
dead. The word tells us that.
Absolutely.
I like to say we have to give God something to work with.
Absolutely. And it kind of pains me when I hear people saying, "Oh, I'm just going to wait on God."
Wait on God.
He's waiting on you.
You're sitting down doing absolutely nothing, but you're waiting on God instead of serving and working, trusting and moving forward. Because the dreams and passions that He gives us, He wants us to live those.
He does.
We have to do the necessary work.
It's almost like a farmer. Oh, I'm just waiting on my crops to spring up. But if you haven't planted a seed,
there you go.
You cannot expect. Well, you can expect a harvest, but the chances of you getting it are slim to none. Yeah, exactly. None. Plant something. Put something into the earth. Yeah.
Yes. So when you say that you began to write your plays and you began to cast, that means you provided opportunities for other people to be able to come in and show off their skills and talents and possibly living out their passions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that made you a playwright. So at what point did you begin acting past the high school play?
Actually, past that, I did a play for a young man in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I think it was in 1999. And then he came back and he did a second play 2 years later. Okay. And then that was it. And so I actually moved back home to Winsburg County in 2003. And in 2008 is when I actually wrote, produced, and directed my first play. Wow. Yeah, we did it in Kingstree, South Carolina. A month later, we went to Conway, South Carolina. And then that was it. I didn't do it again. No consistency. Okay. 2 years later, 2011, I was in a newspaper for writing a book and creating the SueHams Show, which aired on Channel 13. And so the School of the Arts in Kingstree hired me to write a play and to put child actors into it. Okay, let's talk about the SueHams Show, because you brushed across that really fast. I want to talk about that a minute, because see, I look at that, and that is a big thing. I believe in celebrating all victories in our lives. I believe in making the monumental things that we may look at as small things, and I like to make them monumental, because every step is a step to your destiny, is a step to go higher. So talk to us about the SueHams Show. The SueHams Show was, I like to tell people, it was a Ellen meet Oprah meet Dave Chappelle type show. It was, let me see, hilarious. Yes. Crazy. Yes. What else? Talk show, motivational, but it also had musical guests. Okay. So it had all of that. We really just threw some stuff in the pot, and it was like a gumbo. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't know what I was. So a variety show. It was a variety show. Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing, Angela. I really didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I wanted to do it. Okay. And I realized that a lot of our ideas stay in our head and we go to the grave with those. Yes. And I didn't want it to stay in my head, even though I didn't know how to properly execute it at the time. Right. I was willing to try and have a bunch of, I wasn't looking for perfection. So we did the show. It aired on Channel 13, which aired in South Carolina and North Carolina. Then we actually bought time where it aired in Charleston. Okay. And, we only did 5 episodes, but it's so funny because from that show, people were hitting us up, and this was in 2011. So that was like, to have a show on TV back then, and that type of show was huge, even though the quality was poor. But it was just something I wanted to create. I've always wanted to be a force of media that provides quality, entertaining, educational, inspirational media. So,
okay. Is there a SueHams Show in the future?
Yes, it is coming. We are working on some major things,
Yes.
and it is definitely coming. And it's going to be housed again in Williamsburg County, and we're going to have some exciting guests. Maybe we'll get you on there.
Maybe I'm ready.
Come
Tell me
on, somebody.
Tell me when to be there. I'm on TV, y'all. I'm going to TV. Hey. I'm ready. Yes, but you said it was poor quality, but now what it was learning experience.
It really was.
It's a teachable moment. So you took those 5 episodes, and now you know how to get on TV and what to do. You know now what not to do. And I would only imagine, my sister, correct me if I'm wrong, but your expectations now.
They're a lot different.
Yes.
They're a lot different. And that's why I'm really big on preaching consistency. Because you get better as you go. Well, let me say this. You should get better as you go. You should grow as you go.
Yes.
But a lot of people fall victim to complacency. Oh, it's good enough. I don't need to grow. I'm good where I'm at. But I think that with consistency, you should always outgrow something, and you should always get better, invest in yourself to make your craft better.
Yes. And that's one of the things that this show is about. You know, I always tell people when the door opened and it was presented for me to have this show, God let me know this was not a show for me to come on and just talk about me. But it was an opportunity, a platform, if you will, to bring on others, to share what he's doing in their lives in an effort to encourage
That's it.
and empower
That's it.
others to do exactly what you say. Become consistent, persistent, determined. Don't give up. Don't let fear and doubt hold you hostage.
Yes.
And then, because so many people stop dreaming, or they fall short of what they really, really want.
Right.
And I've done that most of my life. I'm 50 years old before I got...
No way, you're not 50.
I'm 53. I'll be 54 this year, but I was 50 before I understood I have a purpose, and nothing is going to stop me now. And I want everybody who hears this broadcast to know they don't have to wait until they're 50 to get that drive.
That's good stuff.
Start now. Don't let anything stop you. So when I see people like you who stress and who understands persistency and being consistent and persistent and honing your craft, knowing your purpose, and not afraid to walk in it, it sparks fire under me. It makes me want to just do more. Like, what else can I do to make the shows better? Okay, what else can I do? Where else am I going? I know where God is taking me. Okay, this door has opened up. What else is going to happen next? He said, I got you. And he keeps putting me in the path of great people such as yourself.
Look at your eyes just lighting. You are excited about life right now, aren't you?
I'm very excited. I love what God is doing. And when he brings great people into my path, I don't take it lightly. Everybody has a reason for meeting. That's how I look at it.
I totally agree. I think one of the things I also, I like to preach, again, consistency and persistence, but I also like to throw out their patience. And the stuff I talk about all the time, it's because I went through it. And I've learned that you got to have patience in this thing called life. Put your head down, focus, do the work, have patience, and know and believe that you shall have what your heart desires.
Girl, you preaching. You're preaching. Now I want to switch the table just for a second.
All right.
Not really switch the table, but continue on your journey because I read your bio.
Okay.
Okay. Got your press kit.
Got your press kit.
Got your press kit. Working on mine.
Hey,
Got
people
your
told
press
me
kit.
if you want to be taken seriously, you got to present yourself seriously. Yeah.
Your website, your press kit, all that needs to represent you and where you're going.
That's it.
So when people see that, they see where you're going.
That's it. That's
you know,
it.
And so I got a professional young lady in my corner working on all that for me.
That's what I'm
and I
talking
thank
about.
God for people such as herself, Gail Cowles. I thank you.
Oh, you got one of the best.
Yes, ma'am.
Gail Cowles is the bomb.
Yes, she is. But I read your bio, and you have been on the Steve Harvey talk show twice.
That was a blessing.
You know, I want to talk about that. How is it? We talked about it briefly. I want you to share with the world. How did you end up getting on the Steve Harvey show?
Man, that was a blessing. Again, visualization. I tell people about being visual about their dreams. Right. Closing your eyes, feeling it, seeing it, imagining yourself there, opening your eyes and knowing that it's going to happen, but you got to work your behind. Reverend Ike, one of my favorite motivational speakers, said, you got to work your mind, then you're behind.
All right.
Okay? So I actually started doing videos. I was consistent with putting out a lot of videos. And they started getting a lot of traction, started going viral. The video that got me the attention of the Steve Harvey Show was a beatboxing video I did. When I put the video out, no one really watched it. A year later, patience, Daniel-san, patience, Daniela, patience, Daniel-san. A year later, it made it to World Star Hip Hop.
Okay.
And at that time, I was like, wow, okay, let me send it to the Steve Harvey Show. So all I did was go to the Steve Harvey website, clicked on Become a Guest, sent the video. 30 minutes later, I got a call from one of the producers. I thought it was a joke. She said, no, you just sent over a video. I was like, okay, yeah, I did. She said it has to go through 2 other producers. And if they okay it, we'll fly you out in a couple of days. Right. I said, all right. I had to wait 24 hours, 24 long, scrupulous hours. They came back and said, you didn't make the cut.
Right.
So I was like, I was crushed, but I also looked at the great thing about it. I now had
the attention.
I had the attention,
yes.
and that's very important.
Yeah.
Number 2, I had the contact information.
Yes.
Okay? And she said, yo, we'll keep your stuff on profile. If we find a fit for you, we'll get you in there. And I was like, yeah, right. So I was just like, that's letting me down lightly.
Right.
So what I did was I still continued to create compelling content. I didn't let that stop me. Okay. And I continued to create compelling content on a consistent basis. And so I started emailing them. I didn't get a response. So I said, okay, let me go back to the thing that worked. Lesson number 2, continue to do the things that work, people. And I went back to the website, sent more videos, be a guest. Next thing I know, 2 years later, I get a call. And they're like, hey, we have a spot. You sent us a video about 2 months ago. I'm like, yeah, like 2 years ago. And we'd like for you to come on the show. And within 3 days, I was flown to Chicago, put up in a nice room, had all this transportation, did the show, had my own green room. And as we were walking out, I remember telling my sister and my friend, I said, I'll be back. I don't know where that came from, but I just felt it.
You would come back.
I knew it.
Yeah.
2 months later, they called me for a second appearance. This time, I was right there by the stage, my green room. And on stage, I was much closer to Steve. And I took that to mean if you stay consistent, if you keep your head down and do the work, I'm going to bring you closer to your dreams.
To your dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I love connecting with people who are doing what I inspire to do.
Exactly.
And that's what we want to say to the listeners, the listening audience today, because somebody has that dream to go higher. And it's okay to look at those who are already doing that and find out what they took, what did it take for them to get to where they are and begin to do that. I like to say we learn a little bit from different people. Everybody that cross our path, we can learn from them if we're open to do so. But we must be willing to do the work. Do the work, do the work, do the work.
I highly encourage people to study successful people. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're in a position to where you cannot afford to buy their courses, their seminars, their products or their services, you can still go on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and watch what it is they're doing. Yes. How are they presenting their videos? What information are they giving you for free? Soak up that value and then get out there and take the steps. Like you said, do the work.
Do the work.
Do the work.
Do the work. So what else we want to talk about? Tell us, what else you want to share with us about your journey?
My journey.
Talking to those young girls out there who's listening to the broadcast or whose mothers are listening to this broadcast right now. What would you say to a younger version of yourself? That young girl that's sitting there thinking, I don't see many people like me. Or I don't know how to become that successful, productive, effective, fulfilled person who's living out their life. What would you say to that young girl?
I would first say that you are enough. Now, I say that, but I didn't have self-esteem problems growing up, right? The only time I ever really incurred fear and doubt is when it came to my dreams. When it came to the Marine Corps, people were like, oh, you're a girl, you're not going to make it. Watch me. Watch me. Okay? When it came to sports, oh, you're not good. Watch me. But when it came to pursuing my dreams, oh, I don't know if I'm good enough. And it wasn't because of how I looked. Right. Because I'm an African-American woman with a big nose. I don't have a model body. It was none of that. It was just, I don't know what to do, and I just don't know if I'm going to be good enough. So I opted for the military. So the first thing I would say is that you're good enough.
You're good enough.
When you have a desire, a talent, or a gift, God deposited that into you before you were even created. Yes. that in and of itself means that you
You're
are
good
good
enough.
enough. You
That's
got the
right.
green light,
That's
baby.
right.
You
That's
don't
right.
need nobody's permission. You were already granted access.
Yes.
So step into,
like that.
Yeah, you already granted access. So now all you got to do is do the work. You were granted the access, so you are good enough. And then the second thing is stay on your game.
Stay on it.
And when you on your game, play the game for the long haul.
Okay.
So many people want the overnight success. Or I reached out to this person, but they didn't contact me back. Or I put this song out, but nobody's listening to it.
Yeah.
I can't begin to tell you how many times I created videos and podcasts and blog posts and nobody was watching or reading it. But I stayed the course because I was playing the long game. Because I visualized that one day in the future, millions of people will consume my content.
And we'll know your name.
Will know my name.
And it's not about just trying to get big. It's about following your passion. And
Yeah.
like you say, you go around the world now, and you've spoken around the world to let them know to live, love,
Learn and laugh. And don't compete and compare with your talent, your gift, and your passion. Because if your thing is to be a custodian and to be the best custodian
And
you
be
can
the
be,
best.
then do that.
That's right.
You don't have to compete with a Beyonce.
That's right.
That's not what you really... I have no desire to be what Beyonce is. Because
That's right.
Beyonce is who she is. I want to be the best SueHam I can be.
Yes.
And so I just encourage everybody to be the best person that you can be. Use your gifts to the best of your ability. Don't compete and compare. Instead, create, produce, and go out there and do what it is that God gave you to do.
Live, love,
Learn and laugh. Follow your dreams to
and
success.
follow your dream. Now, when did you know this was a dream, though? You know, when did...
Ever since I was 5.
Really?
5 years old.
Okay.
5 years old. And it's so funny because that's all I can remember is just wanting to be in the spotlight, wanting to just entertain people. I didn't know it was going to morph into a motivational thing or me training and teaching other people how to do that.
Right.
I just wanted to act. But then it was like, God was like, nah, I got something bigger for you. I want you to write and produce, create opportunities. And that's huge because with actors, you got to wait for somebody to put you on.
Right.
But as a writer, as a producer, you create your own content. And that's one of the things I'm trying to get to people to understand is create it. You got songs and it's not being played, create your own radio show. You know, you had a story you want to tell, self-publish your book. You got to play, you're an actor, you're a writer, and no one's putting it up. Write your play. Put your money together. Save them income tax checks, right?
Right.
And go and produce your show. Rent out a local theater. Hire a publicist. Hire a marketing team. Get your actors. Go do it. Stop waiting on someone to come save you.
So did you have support? Like growing up, you said at 5 you knew you had that passion, that dream. What kind of support did you have that took you from a 5-year-old toddler actually, knowing her passion and knowing what she wanted to be when she grew up? What kind of support did you have?
I mean, there was always support in the community, but here's the thing. I talked myself out of my dream because I was like, I was living in Williamsburg County where there were no opportunities for the arts. My family, we didn't have the money to send me to Juilliard in New York. I didn't have the money to go to California. And this was my small thinking. It was like, I need the money to do these things. Yeah. And I felt like I didn't want to go to college. I mean, I just finished high school. I want to go and travel the world, make money, and be in movies. Yeah. So I kind of like just talked myself out of it. And one of the things that I think is so great about dreamers today is that we're growing up in the era of the internet.
Yeah.
And so you can create money out of thin air with your cell phone. You can create money to fund your dreams. You can connect with people who can take you to that next level. Yeah. There is really no excuse. Unlike what I had, we had 3 options: get a job, go to college, or go into the military.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it. Now, the possibilities are endless. So.
Yes.
But yeah, my family has always supported me, actually with my first stage plays. And even to this day, a lot of my actors are my family members. And they are amazing. Now, we have a lot of new talent that we put on as well. But if my family's not in the foreground, they're in the background. They're helping with a lot of stuff. And it's like my mom and dad had 6 kids. And we call ourselves the Wayans family because we're just like them, comical and blessed and talented. And we're very, very close.
Okay.
So...
And how does Tyler Perry play a part in any part of your vision or dream?
Yeah, Tyler Perry and David Talbot. Tyler Perry in the fact that he has ownership.
Yeah, I like that.
I love the ownership of the
Yes.
studio. I love the ownership of all his movies, all his plays. That's amazing to me. I love the fact that Tyler Perry connects with his audience. That's so important to me.
Yes.
My audience experience is more important than making $1. I know some people will be like, are you crazy? But when you care more about the people you serve, you will always make $1. And that's one of the things I try to tell people. Add the value, add the excellence,
Yes.
and the money will come. The money will come. So Tyler Perry definitely influenced me that. And of course, Tyler Perry is like the man who made urban theater, okay. He made it great. But David Talbot is a major influence because I love the way David tells a story.
I love all his plays.
All of his plays. The way he tells a story, the fact that he made it to BET, had that distribution deal. And then not only that, the fact that David E. Talbot dubbed little old me, girl from Williamsburg County, as the next great talent. And I'll never forget when I auditioned for this man in Chicago. And after I auditioned, he said, the truth is, you've blown me away. I literally hit the floor crying because it was like at that moment in my life, and I'm hoping I'm not going to tear up now. At that moment in my life, I realized the childhood girl who was afraid to live her dreams was actually doing it. And being told that she was phenomenal by one of the greats in the industry.
Yeah.
So
That sealed it.
That sealed it. And from that moment on, it was like he doesn't have to do anything else for me.
Yes.
From that moment on, it's my responsibility to go get it.
That's it.
And I realize, people, and if you're listening, stop chasing celebrities. Stop chasing people you think going to take you to the next level.
Yes.
It's your responsibility to go get it. And when you go get it, you will draw in all the people that you need to launch you to the new level.
And on that note, I'm going to say we thank God for each of you who have tuned into this broadcast on today here on Power and Praise Radio and Dream Deferred No More. I couldn't have said it better myself. My sister, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
We thank God for you. We're looking forward to seeing more of you. I want you all to stay tuned. We're going to do a brief ending real quick at the end of the show. But I want to say I thank God for you. Continue to tune in to powerandpraiseradio.com for Dream Deferred No More every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Keep watching. We've got more greatness coming. Thank you. Have a blessed and have a productive day and week. We love you here. God bless you.
We're still live on mine. So we're coming back for a closeout. Listen.
Don't go away. We're going to talk about the upcoming play.
Yes, ma'am. We got so carried away, didn't we?
Yes. She has a play coming here in Sumter at the Patriot Hall, Saturday, March 30th. We want everybody to go see it. Give us the name of the play.
Yeah, y'all already know Beautiful Minds. Beautiful Minds. Y'all make sure y'all go check that thingy out at Patriot Hall, March 30th, 7 p.m. We start on time. Be on time. You can get tickets online at SueHamPlays.com. That's SueHamPlays.com. A play about bullying, love, forgiveness, acceptance, and second chances. You got to be 7 years or older to attend. The only reason I want you 7 years or older is because we don't want babies crying. We want you to have the ultimate theater experience. And that's the reason for the 7-year-old and older thingy, okay?
Okay, so don't forget, go check her out. We thank God for this young lady. She's doing awesome things. We're going to keep following her and looking for even higher and greater things to come. Love you all.
Tell them once again how they can listen to your radio show.
www.powerandpraiseradio.com. Internet radio, the #1 radio station in all the land. We're here every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. But they're on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for inspirational music and other great inspirational talk shows. Meet us on the air every day. We love you.
Yeah, y'all better do that. So listen, Yolanda, thanks for typing the website. There you go. You got the right website now. Appreciate that, sis. Yo, I love y'all a long time. Right now, I want y'all to go ahead and share this because somebody is going to be blessed to live their dreams just from hearing the stuff that me and Lady Angela have talked about today. Thank you, Yolanda. Yolanda, this is a wonderful interview. Share that. Michael, thanks for being on. Gerald, hey, Sherelle, Javon, Chrissy, Lakeisha McCrae, you know I'm waiting on you. Terry Brown, somebody said I needed this. Who said that? Oh, Michael, we're glad that we were able to offer some value to you today. Yes. Thank you so much for joining in. Who else is on the broadcast or was on the broadcast? My mom, Betty Hammond, was on. I need everybody, Vanessa, Wantia, Cree Epps, everybody to share this, whether you're live or you're watching the recorded version. Go ahead and share this and let it hopefully help you in your life, but also help anyone that you're connected to in your life. So we're going to go ahead and sign off.
Love you.
Love you guys. Remember to live, love, learn, and laugh. Don't quit. Follow your dreams to success. Why? Because your dreams matter. I'm SueHam with SueHam.com, SueHam.com.